Hey everyone, it's baze.djunkiii transmitting from Hamburg, Germany, back with a new video, and well, finally back with my chart haul for July 2K23. Actually, the first video I shot this month, and like the first one within like a 2 week gap actually, because there were no like significant promos coming in to unbox, and well, other things didn't happen as well, apart from me working my ass off and like having a visit to the doctor on Monday actually, because well, my back isn't that good or hasn't been that good, so I had two like vertebrae well, physically locked up kind of, and I had to get a little bit of a crunch in my spine kind of to have those like removed and like unlocked again. So but this happened like before, so it's like not dangerous but pretty unpleasant actually. And yeah, I was kind of busy writing reviews and stuff, and well, now I'm gonna go show you the records I liked most this month. Well, limited one, well, surprising one, and some you've seen already in an unboxing video. So let's start out with this one actually, which I was supposed to unbox, but it didn't happen because of some like kind of controversy kind of. So proper cuts recordings. Here is a beautiful sticker on here. This is a very limited last cut release by a new label run by my mate Sascha Müller actually, which sent me this a while ago, like a few weeks ago. And what this is a one-sided limited last cut release actually. Here we go, this is the label actually, and the track is called High Contrast, as you can see here. There's only a handful of this worldwide, so this is something you will never see out in the wild, and you will appreciate if you like proper techno, bouncing, hard banging, no, not really hard, but banging techno with a kind of stripped down minimalist vibe actually. So if you appreciate like labels like Implant or what Robert Hood does from Detroit, that kind of like stripped down club techno, minimal techno thing, but not minimal in the Cologne sense, but minimal in the Detroit sense, highly functional techno stuff. This is one you might look out for if you're ever able to see a copy. Proper cuts recordings, Sascha Müller's High Contrast. Good stuff. I already used it, abused this in a DJ mix I've recorded for a future radio show. Still have to figure out if Radio Fluka in Paris will be on a summer break in August or not. So I'm gonna figure this out like over the weekend, I guess. But this is one you will hear in one of my radio shows very shortly. And yeah, really good stuff. Sascha, as I told you many a time, is one of the most underrated but most capable German producers anyway, and a long-time friend actually. Next one you've seen in the unboxing video, THX 9071 Minimal ist meine Wahl on the Block 4 label, run by Malte Steiner out of Denmark actually. And THX 9071 is a German project, minimal wave, synth, well, not really synth pop, but well, if you like synth pop, you can like listen to this as well. Yeah, very interesting stuff, especially Polizeistaat is my favorite track on there, I guess, for this like dance floor or yeah, dance floor functionality. Actually, I've played this at the last Beta Zaval party actually, and also Minimale Distanz is one of my favorites as well, like very like stripped down but still punching like German minimal wave stuff. So if you're into that kind of stuff, and if you like appreciate labels like Astro Chicken or Das Drehmoment actually, or like there's this compilation series from France where like Ruth Polaroid Roman Photo is on there, forgotten the name, but if you're into that kind of stuff, you will definitely appreciate THX 9071 limited edition, like 300 copies I guess, on the Block 4 label from Denmark actually. And the next one is an interesting one as well, because it sounds like the 90s, but it isn't. X-Coast, Ecstasy, The Lost Scrolls, XTCW01, my handwriting on there. And this is a recent release, I guess earlier this year somewhere, but it sounds like it has been produced in the 90s. So here is one side, the actual like yeah, picture side, and then there is the flip with all the information, white vinyl. And yeah, this is fascinating because it sounds like it could have been released like in 93, 94 maybe. There is some Balearic on there is some house on there, some breakbeat, some like proto-trance, also like a hint of hard trance kind of, and even the typography sounds like it was, looks like it was taken from an old record. So this is very, very good stuff, an interesting release, totally underrated, I guess. And as we see a big 90s rave music, proto-rave resurgence, this is a well-fitting release to add to the collection if you're into that kind of stuff, like music-wise. So X-Coast, Ecstasy, The Lost Scrolls, very good, very recommended. And actually it's like a part of like a sub-label thing of a label I've forgotten. So there's no label name mentioned actually here, like proper label name. So but I go with the XTCW because this is what is on the label actually. Good stuff if you're into like early 90s electronic dance music, which has been produced recently. The next one came to me as well through an interesting story. So this is Matissa's Wonder on the self-proclaimed working class label Steel City Dance Discs, which originated from Australia and now from Newcastle, Australia actually, I guess, and now is located in England, actually in the UK. This has very interesting and intense artworks. I guess Tom Highland District will definitely like this, and musically it is intense as well. So it's raw, which is well suitable with the self-proclaimed working class approach, because Newcastle, Australia is like as a label name, like probably showcases steel and like metallurgy and stuff and metals and like mines and all things that are happening there. And here is the label. Really like the label logo as well, which is showcased on the flip. Really looks great. And what this is it's rave music kind of, but in a breakbeat oriented sense. So we have breakbeat oriented techno. We have like UK hardcore influences in there. We have like rave influences in there as well. So broken beat, uplifting, kind of cheesy at times, but very interesting and like suitable for like DJ sets. And I gotta put together a DJ set of kind of neo breakbeat rave stuff for radio abuse in the future as well. So here it is, Matissa Wonder on the Steel City Dance Disc label. Great artwork as well. Get this. And interestingly, I guess the digital version of that was released in late 2K22, so 1 year ago actually. But for some reason the vinyl wasn't pressed until now, so I don't know if it's to do with the backlog of the pressing plants, which is like slowly kind of dissolving right now, or if there's other reasons why they didn't do a vinyl release like in parallel with the digital release. But of course I prefer vinyl. And this one, last one for now, is one that came as a surprise, but like as a big surprise, on the label that is called Something Happening Somewhere. And it has the most beautiful artwork I've seen like in a while. So I'm gonna put this on the wall at some point maybe. Isn't this like glorious? This is like a super pristine printing quality and looks great. Looks like 90s, and it's seemingly an opposite of how the cover, or like a negative of how the cover of this original record looked in the 90s, because the original was released in 93. And this is Dave Angel's Original Man. This is like a UK techno classic, proto-trancey, very deep, very Troy-y, broken techno, not IDM, but intelligent techno with a dance floor twist. The main track, Original Man, is like super important to me. I don't even remember when I've heard this first, but it seems like on a compilation I bought like when I was in my mid-teens, kind of like 15, 16 maybe, and it's like super touching, twisted Detroit synthesizer strings, and like the like very fascinating hypnotic male vocals, and that kind of deep twist that goes right under your skin, like very, very interesting. And the B-side actually with Quarter Pounder being like more like banging 90s UK techno, very kind of toolish, but also like a little bit of playfulness in there. And the Fourth Symphony on B2 is also like more like a deep techno affair. But basically when I saw this, I had like, well, the goal to not buy that many records right now because the money has to go to other things. But as I saw this popping up at the vinyl warehouse at the distribution I work at, I was like, well, I gotta have this, whatever the cost is. And yeah, Dave Angel, original man. Dave Angel is a kind of like unsung hero of UK techno and in the techno scene in general, even though he's been around for ages, from the very beginning, for at least 30 years and longer, and has been running the Rotation Records label, which is still active, like in sporadic time intervals. And I have another Dave Angel record which I highly praise. Name escapes me right now, but especially because it runs inside out, so you put the needle in and it runs outward, but it's still like mixable and usable for DJ purposes and stuff. So yeah, this is it, my chart haul basically for this month. I hope you enjoyed, and if you like this one, feel free to subscribe, click the bell and all the stuff, and check out my Bandcamp up there. There's some music I done and some stuff from my labels, and another video will be popping up down there. All other things are down in the description box, and I'm gonna see you in the next one, I guess. See you later.